Welcome, witches, to the Radiance Unleashed and Unapologetic podcast, your permission slip to embody your primal, raw, unapologetic nature around who you are as an empress, queen, a witch, and a medicine woman creatrix. My name is Saber. I am an esoteric global business mentor supporting women all around the world to align with their cyclical nature and how they're doing, being, and receiving in life and legacy. If you love what you receive in these transmissions in this show, please make sure to follow and leave a review. Make sure you share with a fellow witch and a sister. I am so honored that you're here to receive, enjoy, and blessings on your journey.
Underneath your flame, cut the cords around me as I speak your name. It's never gonna be the same. Even though I loved you, it was all in vain. And now I gotta break away. Put me in the water, tell me I'm renamed. Higher self reclaim.
Hello, beautiful soul. Oh, it is so good to be here today. I have something brewing up and we wanted to have a powerful conversation today. I'm saying we because I have a special guest on today. Her name is Katia. She's tuning in all the way from Tulum, Mexico. And she was at the coronation ceremony castle retreat in England that we had just last month. And we're doing a really special masterclass. It's called The Empire Build Her. And we wanted to share about this revolutionary shared profit income model that women all around, not just women, people in 48 different countries, in every single continent, all around the world, are plugging into to actually create generational wealth. We all want to ultimately make the most amount of money, help people, and work smarter, not harder. And we found the answer, and we're going to be debunking a lot of really powerful stuff here today and really deconstructing what it actually means to be in this kind of industry of affiliate marketing and how conscious creators, coaches, facilitators, leaders really ultimately need to know it's actually a necessity to have this type of income model under your belt as another, not just another stream of income, but actually the undercurrent, the actual thing that holds your legacy. So stay until the end because we're definitely going to be sharing with you how you can actually tune into the masterclass. I'm going to just bring her on. Brum, bum, bum. Drum roll for me. Hi.
Let me lower this a little bit. That's better.
Yeah,
Hi, how are you, Saber?
I'm doing fabulous. I just had my beauty nap and I just feel so good. I feel so good.
It's beautiful to be able to have that, right?
Yeah, I know. I take this for granted sometimes. I was thinking about this. It's a Thursday. Actually, is it a Thursday? I often don't even know what
Yes,
day it is.
it is Thursday.
And I'm like walking with my book, and somebody actually butt called me today, and I answered, and I was like, "Did you mean to call me?" She's like, "Oh." She's like, "Well, what are you doing?" She's like, "Are you walking to work?" I'm like, "No, I'm just walking to the park because it's a sunny day and gonna go read my book." And it's those moments that I forget and almost take for granted, where there's a lot of people that, they are walking to work or they are inside with one-on-one clients, or they are like building funnels and like doing all these things. And I'm just like, I just took a nap. I'm going to do a live video today. I'm going to create some content. I'm going to have some amazing conversations with people. And that's really how my day goes. Like basically every
Yeah.
day.
It's such
Yeah.
a privilege, actually. It's such a privilege, but actually it's not something, it's something that we created for ourselves. You
Yeah.
know, it's something that we actually created for ourselves through the business that we partnered with and the choices that we made a few years ago when we decided to choose ourselves actually over grinding, over working from paycheck to paycheck, over, you know, having someone that's telling you when you can take a break and when you can't, and be able to have that afternoon nap, right?
Yeah.
Be more productive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, why don't we just dive straight into some of this juice? Because honestly, I'm over here like we could go around the cuff. For instance, anyone who's watching live, if you have questions about automated high ticket affiliate marketing, please pop it in the chat. It may give us some riffs to roll off this conversation. But ultimately, the question here is you love what you do, but why the fuck does it still feel like you're drowning in it? And for me personally, I absolutely love this shared profit model because it literally gave me the way to do everything that I love to do, but actually gave me an income model that held my potential, that allowed me to not just do it all alone and have a new way of doing things, you know, doing a retreat like we just did in England, or to do things like teach dance and to share dance and to be an expat and to empower people and to speak, public speaking, motivational speaking,
Mhm.
and not have to have this linear way of doing things. And we think turn our passions to profit, then, oh, if we do what we love, we never feel like we work a day in our lives. However, you know, that starts to change when you've been doing it for 10 years and you have zero residual income from it, right?
Yeah. And we see a lot of people in the industry, a lot of women, a lot of men in this industry, and not only in the coaching industry or also like in the service industry, people that are sharing their gifts, that are practicing different healing modalities, people that have other services that they're offering, whether it be massage, whether it be Reiki, whether it be all those different things. And I see many of them here living in Tulum, Mexico, actually, that are enslaved to their jobs. So that's what you were saying here, is that you love what you do, but why the hell does it feel that you're still drowning? It's because you created another job for yourself and you do not have any systems. If you do, you have to work your butt off to create them, actually, so that you can have a little bit of freedom, actually. And then working becomes your grind, and then you get into that and you don't realize that that has become your reality, you know, and then you wake up 5 years later and you're like, I'm totally burned out. And what did I do? What did I create? What did I, yes, I've helped a lot of people, but what about me?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. What about me? How can we actually give from a place of overflow? And I also just want to say to the audience too, we have a training that explains the how. We're not going to sit here and try to explain the how to you in this. This is a shorter conversation to really stimulate the conversation of the why. The Empire Builder Masterclass, if you want to watch it, if you're listening to this on the podcast, the link will be in the show notes, or whoever's page you're watching this on, Facebook group, whatever. Just reach out to whoever's page who invited you to this video and make sure you watch the masterclass to actually get an intro of how this actually works. But we could summarize it. We can like paraphrase. Essentially, we do high ticket affiliate marketing, but it's automated. We have two companies that we've partnered with. So this is not for people who are wanting to add another thing, add another product to sell. This is for people who actually want to step into this space where they are the product. It's not another product to sell. They get to actually step into this space where you get to lead with your vision, you get to lead with your story, you get to lead with your passion, your lifestyle. What we were talking about on our brainstorming call was you get to literally cash in on your evolution, monetizing your glow up, okay? Because people are doing it anyway on social media, right? They're sharing like their transformations, the books that they read, the things they're moving through, their perspectives, their shifts, their aha moments, their paradigm flips. Yet they're doing that and then continuing to have this linear way of how they are offering their services or offering their gifts. So in this way, we've actually partnered with a company, a health and wellness company, but it's actually automated with another company that we explained all in the masterclass.
Yeah.
The reason why we've done this as opposed to creating our own offers is actually we're tapping into a trust-funded 51-year-old patented compensation plan that literally plugs you into a pathway to generational wealth. So that's like literally in a nutshell, in a summary. Okay, so Katia, what do you have to share with the person who is exploring this opportunity, but they feel they don't want to go off course of their purpose, of their mission? They love what they do, yes, and even if they feel like they're drowning, they truly feel that, if I see it through, I will be able to create the systems. I will be able to create the residuals and the passive income, et cetera, eventually. What do you have to say to that person?
Well, first, watch the masterclass
Right?
because everything is definitely going to be said on there. But there's something that's been coming up for me because for me, when I started this business, I was a professional chef working on yachts. I was overworked. I was doing what I love doing, but I was feeling like I was drowning for so many reasons because exactly I had no freedom. So if anyone is really like looking to create something different for themselves, what I have to say is the good thing is that you already have something, and that looking into what we're offering here is that you have nothing to lose, in the sense that if you approach this as an investor in the way you're seeing this opportunity, and not like you were saying as another product that you have to sell, then it shifts completely the way that you see what we're offering here. And I feel that I wanted to share this because this is what makes the shift when you look at the offer, when you look at what we're working with and what we're creating with this business model. Actually, it really changes everything. And that's what makes the difference with you being there and working your butt off or your ass off and never having time for yourself versus having systems that do the work for you. And that works for the coaches, that works for the people that are also offering their service physically. And yeah, definitely come watch the masterclass. And then there we're going to really show you the beauty and what is possible to build in community as well, which I feel that is something that is extremely important.
Yeah, that's so powerful. I think that the big problem that we all recognize as entrepreneurs is that if you're capped, you're capped. Like for me, I come from the background of making my own products and doing some services too, like teaching workshops and performing gig work, relying on events and gigs, these kinds of things. And if you're in this space of in order to make more money, you just have to work more hours, it's just simply not sustainable, for one. And then when you get to this space of like, okay, even if I created my own systems or hired my own people, et cetera, how long is that going to last until you have to do it again and do it again and do it again and do it again? Because the thing that I love about this is plugging into something that is 51 years old, right? It is trialed and tested. It has gone through the ringer, through multiple economic crashes. It's even, it's in 48 countries around the world. There's no
Yeah.
question if it works in like Africa or Arabic countries or things, like you literally see that it has actually worked for everybody. So the thing about creating your own offers is you don't know how it's going to actually pan out in the marketplace. And like that's why so many people, 3 to 5 years, me being an artist back then, I worked my ass off. I had invested well over 6 figures. I was working 80 plus hours a week. It had been 4 years in, and I have zero residual income. Every once in a while, I still get a check from this one place where some of my earrings are, and it's laughable. It's literally like my aunt's like, "Hey, you got a check from so and so store in Santa Cruz," and I'm like, "Oh, how much is it?" She's like, $16, and I'm like, "Oh, that's." And then I get a random check, from residuals in this business, and it's like, "Oh, here's a surprise, 2 grand."
Yeah, it's a
It's
different
like
level.
totally different. And the work that I've done isn't laborious. You know what I mean? The work that actually we do when you are on social media enrolling people into a vision, which actually to me is like it's the most important skill set that you'll ever have in your entire life, is learning how to actually enroll not only yourself in your own vision, right? Believing in yourself and having that
Mhm.
conviction, but being a leader, right? Enrolling other people into a vision. And that skill set will carry you forever. But the biggest work within it is the becoming, is the identity work, is the energetics, is I was telling you how when we were staying together in London, I was like, oh, I really need to get back to my ab workouts. It sounds like a simple thing, but like since I've come back, I've been doing them every single day. And there's like these things about building consistency and building that trust and security in who you are and your identity and your fire that I'm not doing it for the gram, right? I'm actually doing it because I'm stepping into the version of myself that can actually create something like generational wealth in this type of model and lead people to do the same.
Yeah,
So it's a bit etheric how I explained it this way, but I think that going back to what I was talking about is the big problem that I see is that people are recognizing that the old model doesn't actually work. Of like, okay, they want to create their own offers, but I think what stops a lot of people is this idea, right, that, oh, if it doesn't belong to me, then it can be taken away from me. Or if it doesn't, if it's not something that I created, I'm not following my soul purpose and my mission.
yeah.
What are some of the big shifts for you that has supported you in shifting that perspective and actually kind of seeing that it's not separate?
That's been part of my journey actually of growth because when I started, there were still some beliefs that were there that were limiting me actually about this, and it's normal, when you start your business. It's they say being an entrepreneur is the most spiritual journey you can ever take in your life, right? Because you get to meet all your edges and all your beliefs and all your limitations, and most businesses don't have business problems. They have people problems, they have human problems. It's usually the person at the source that has things that they need to resolve. And to come back to your question precisely, I mean, what it has brought up for me, it has brought up a feeling of safety, in the sense that when I embarked on this journey, I gave myself 10 years to create this legacy for myself, to create this legacy income. And just knowing that, and knowing that I'm never going to lose my rank, whatever happens in my life, that the system has been created so that it remains this way, with the trust fund, with the patent compensation plan. So it kind of allowed me to relax in a way into it, and to get into this journey more with ease, instead of say, okay, it's another thing I need to grind into, because if I don't, it might go away.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
I might miss the opportunity, or I didn't join in at the beginning, like, oh no, it's not gonna work. So
Hmm.
it's beautiful that it's created so that this doesn't happen, actually. Did I answer
Yeah.
the question?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
The original question was, how has your journey been on seeing that it's like not separate from your purpose? So
Oh,
what I
oh yeah. I totally took another way. Well, for my purpose of service, actually, to get back to that. Sales is service. It definitely is, especially in the industry that we work in with this business model and what is possible to create for people with when you approach it that way.
Mhm.
You realize that you can mix both together. So I always wanted to support women with their health. I always did without even wanting it. Like I was always giving people advice on women advice on everything, you know. And then Ayurveda came into the process of being having this journey of this business at the same time, and it really led me into my purpose in a sense, knowing that I could use this vehicle to share my purpose actually with these women at the same time as well.
I love it. That's beautiful. It's so funny that you said you were always somebody that was giving people advice. I think that that's a really big thing to talk about because I feel like I was always the black sheep in not only my family, but just, growing up. I grew up in a really small town that literally if you left, that was like a big deal. So
Mm.
people would look to me to, I was the person that created that alternative path. And even when I was in college, I was like steering, I was going to Burning Man and like these other things. So it was a very different lifestyle that I just I just couldn't help it. That's who I was. I was living this alternative way. I was just kind of still in this box in how I was earning, how I was living, in the matrix, all these things. And yeah, I always had that desire too to just help people and to do that. And it just felt really natural to come into this space because I thought I really was done personally with products when I came into this space because when you vend you talk about the same freaking damn thing over and over and over and over. Like by the end of the weekend I'm like fried, and I did 26 events in 2019. I was like, I want to die.
Yeah.
And so when I came here I was like, I really loved that it was okay. Now it's not about, explain the ins and outs of this product so the person can just buy and it's transactional. It's actually
Mm.
about how do you actually hold a powerful mirror and empower another person to actually have the courage to do something different in their life. And I thought, I kind of already fucking do that. No one's paying me. And I think a lot of us, a lot of people are like, okay, well, I'm going to do this as a life coach, right?
Yeah.
Naturally. And, for you, it turned into the path of Ayurveda. It's like, okay, well, I want to help people in this way because this is what I tend to be giving advice on. And this is what's fucking cool about this not being about a product. It's actually about like your personal brand is whatever that thing you talk about all the time that you can't stop talking about and that people come to you about. That's your like how you say your genius zone,
Your zone of genius. Yeah.
yeah, your zone of genius, the thing that people come to you for. If you're not getting paid for that, you don't have to put that in a box and create your own. The thing that I feel like makes this so much more freeing than creating your own offer of it. It's like when you're creating your own offer, okay, you're no longer just in your zone of genius. You're actually becoming the manager, the creator, the website, the website builder, the everything. There's already so much that we have to do as entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And
That's when you burn out.
yeah, that's when you burn out.
Mhm.
And this guy who wrote, did you ever read the book Rich Dad Poor
Yeah.
Dad? It's so good. Robert
Very good.
Kiyosaki. He said, if I were to go back, I would decide to actually partner with a model that's already proven to work and convert.
Yeah.
Because sure, you could create that from the ground up. And I think there's a lot of hype around that, and a lot of pride that people take on that. And don't get me wrong, like for the people who have created multi 6 and 7 figure empires from themselves, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Do I?
It is.
I want to do that. Personally, I wanted more ease.
Mhm.
It's not because I'm lazy. I'm just like, why not? We have the power of the internet. We have the ability to use affiliate marketing models like this, and
Yeah.
because it's automated, it hybrids it anyway. So it kind of feels like you're already building your own stuff. I think it's really funny that Boo Boo's trying to like come up with a picture.
Yeah, you just add your own stuff to it. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah,
You personalize to your own
and a lot
identity.
of people
That's it.
in this model, you know, sometimes people they'll be like, "Oh, this is what you do." They're like, "I think so and so does this." They're like, "I had no idea," because they're over there just like dancing and taking care of cats, or you know, like just sharing
Mhm.
their baked cookie recipes. And it's like, how is this connected? They're like, this is what we mean by getting paid to be your authentic self and not putting yourself in a goddamn box and trying to like create your own thing. It's the new fucking paradigm.
It really is. It really is a new paradigm. And I'm so eager to share this with the women that are going to join us on this webinar like next Friday, right? Yeah.
I think we
Next
said
Friday.
Thursday. Thursday.
Thursday? Oh God, okay.
We don't even know what day it is today or next week or when
Today
we're
was
putting
this
that.
Thursday. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, it's true. It's next Thursday. Okay. Yeah.
There you
I'm
go.
I'm still at the coronation ceremony, I think.
Whenever it is,
And
there'll be a replay. So whoever's
yeah,
watching this, even if you're watching this December of 2032, there's a replay
there's a
somewhere.
replay, exactly. But I wanted to talk about the retreat actually, because I
Yeah.
feel that it's something that, that is so powerful that this business and this vehicle gives us the opportunity to create those retreats, not out of survival,
Yeah.
but out of service actually for the people that work with us and the ones that desire to as well, or that, that are on this journey with us. So I think it's so powerful to have the opportunity to leverage this business for that, because the commissions are phenomenal in the sense that the way things are created, it really allows us, and it's going to allow you to do the same thing as well. Actually, that's when you start seeing like the juiciness of this compensation plan, and how we do the business actually, and what is possible to create 2 generations down to create your own legacy, because that's what we mean about that's really exciting, and there's nobody else in the industry or that offers that, right? There's nobody else. So when I went to the retreat, actually I was ready for something really, really different for myself. I was ready to partner with people that were more like me. And I feel that that's also something that we've seen in the MLM world, or whatever, affiliate world, or whatever. Everything that is available online is a lot of people are chained to their teams, they're chained to their products, they're chained to what they're selling actually. And we're able to do whatever we want actually. There's a few tiny little things, but it's like, you can keep selling your cookies or selling your vitamins if you want to at the same time. You can still do that. And that's beautiful, because a lot of people think that they're limited when they embark on journeys like this. They think they're going to become prisoners of the business model, and what the retreat showed me actually is that it's possible to partner with anyone in this business, even though they're not working in my team actually. And that's really amazing to be able to do that, because I feel that there's a huge potential there. There's a huge potential for anyone even that starts this business actually, to know that, you
Yeah.
know.
We're all
Yeah.
one big team. I know I tell people that often because often people will see me, you know, and they're like, well, I don't know if I can do this business because I don't show up like you. And I'm like, everybody is their own thing. And within this space, you tap into a global community and you
Mhm.
have this global tribe where, like, maybe we collaborate sometimes, maybe we don't. Maybe I just am your guide to just usher you to the community, and then you go and find your, you know, other people that are in similar age groups, or also moms, or also artists, or also, you know, healers. It's like whatever.
Yeah.
Um, I've really liked to kind of diversify who I collaborate with, but they all kind of share similar Like to me, I'm like, we're all people that we would probably go to a festival together is how I look at it. You know, so there are different demographics and ages and parents and not parents and whatnot. But I'm like, we would all
Yeah.
actually just hang out and have a really good time, like at a castle in London.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I love that you felt that because yeah, that's truly something that really inspired me coming into because I had gotten introduced to like when I was exploring low ticket network marketing. Actually, I was looking into I can't remember the company's name, but anyway, it was like a CBD product and also like a superfood product, and I just I didn't feel like I could really fully find my authenticity. I was like, okay, well, this sounds great. I mean, first of all, you have to like keep purchasing all these products and stuff that you end up like having more products than you even really need, and like the commissions and stuff. It actually didn't weigh out for the amount of time that I was willing to put into it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's another topic that we'd break down in the masterclass.
Uh-huh.
But ultimately, I felt that there was only like one way to do the business. You know, the way to do it was to like bring people together and like kind of talk about this one thing and this one topic in health and wellness stuff and just focus on this educate. It's like da 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 da. And what the beautiful example at the retreat was like we brought in sensual dance, we had Kundalini yoga, we had sound healing, we had ceremony, we had, you know, the masterminding with the visioning of the scrolls, we had photography, and like what a coinkydink, what a concept.
It's like
I like that word.
a co-working space in a way, but like on steroids. Like it's so
Right.
amazing because we got to create content as well. We got to, you know, it's so beautiful to be able to do that with other sisters and brothers, or you know, with a team of people instead of just creating your own content on your own as well.
Yeah.
It's there's so much power that lies there, even what we're doing
Yeah.
now, you know.
And we're continuing to be weaved together through this vision, through the trust funded compensation plan. It's like you can go to retreats that have these kinds of things, absolutely. However, where is the golden thread that continues to hold it and sustain the community? That is something that's really big for me because, you know, I've joined courses and like paid for programs and things like this, and there's this promise of a community and sisterhood and these kinds of things, right? But I mean, as soon as the program is done, the group fizzles.
Yeah, there's always a minimum that, but generally, yeah, most of your audience kind of fizzles away
Yeah,
because there's so much online these days. That's another thing, you know. There is so much noise and so many options and so many offers and so it becomes like challenging to keep the attention of your audience. But I feel that with something like what we have, it makes it easier.
we're
It makes
all
it
by
much
a
easier.
common thread. It's like it also anchors in the why because it's like, sure, you could go to retreat and do all these like what we were talking about the other day is like you could do all the somatic stuff and all the recalibration of your nervous system and everything, but then what? You're going to go back into the world and go back to a job or go back to hustling and saying no to your bank account because, you know, like that trip took a bunch of your money and now you got to start all over because life is lifing.
Yeah.
So in space, it's like that. I was actually trying to explain this to somebody earlier today because she was like, "Do you do retreats where like the company hires you to do them, or like you're selling the tickets?" And I was like, "No, this is something that the tickets cover the expenses, but the only fucking way that's even like feasible is actually the people who are coming, the shared profit model." The shared profit model is where the money gets circulated and expanded. So these people get to come and they get to have their transformation, and that transformation translates into how they show up better in their business. But we are all in this organizational business together, and the more money they make, the more money we make, and so on and so forth. And it is a win-win model. There is not one person at the top. You can actually make more money than the person who introduced you to the space. but people are continuing to be like incentivized to support each other because of the core connection to legacy wealth. And even if you're not financially connected, like you and I, but I would say what keeps us connected in like the incentivized to support and expand each other is like because we are coming together as like-minded people to, and that amplifies our message, and we know that it amplifies who we are as a woman, just even just being sisters, but then it also amplifies the work that we're actually doing in the world.
Yeah.
It's so funny trying to explain this to people that don't understand. It's like literally when you first try to explain law of attraction to someone who's never even meditated.
It's Chinese. Yeah.
For real.
I think it's beautiful what you just said about we amplify each other. And what I see a lot exactly in the coaching industry, in the service industry, is people are doing things on their own. And it's they say it's a lonely world at the top. Yeah, but the way we work together, it's never lonely actually, because there is always community that is present, that is accessible, that is there for us. We're going to talk about the Japanese philosophy of the ikigai in our webinar, and I don't want to talk more about it because there's a westernized version of it, but we're gonna talk about the real Japanese approach to it, which is way more than what we know about finding your purpose and those little things. That's the more westernized version, and we're really creating the community that is coming from this concept of always having people supporting you in a sense, or accessible to. Let's say if I want to do a webinar, well, I'm going to reach out to another one of my sisters or brothers that's doing this business because I want to edify them. I like how they work. I resonate with, maybe they're talking more about the science behind one of the products that we have, or all those things, and I want to do a webinar with them. But when you're working on your own, you're really limited to, you can do some collaborations with the other healers and practitioners, but then it becomes less accessible in a way. I find less
Yeah,
accessible. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I see collaborations go on, obviously, in the coaching and service industry who are obviously not in our model, and they're doing the same damn things, but I know it is not expanding them in the way that it would here. Like, for instance, I follow this podcast, and she brings on these guests and, shares their courses and stuff, and maybe she makes a commission from it. I don't know. Even if she does or doesn't, whatever. It's like, what if y'all were actually in each other's team in their
Yeah.
affiliate marketing
Better.
business? It's even better. And it's like, I have this, my genius zone is money blueprint, my genius zone is nervous system stuff. And then they just like share on each other's podcasts and cross pollinate. But then like people come into this person's thing over here is actually also coming into this person's thing over here. It's like this ecosystem, these like a synergy. It's synergy within your offers together, where gosh, I want to just bring this up as we wrap up this conversation, but the stigma of affiliate marketing and network marketing like just drives me crazy because it's like so outdated, where people think that people have this tunnel vision of, oh, you have people under you and you're enrolling them into this thing. Nobody comes here who doesn't want to really freaking be here, okay? That's first and foremost. And
anyway, that's not how we work.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not how we work.
No.
Yeah.
And that's a different story if someone's like, okay, I'm gonna buy this $7, a makeup thing, and then try and like become financially free. That's a different story. But when you're in high ticket, no, that's happening,
Yeah, I know.
But it's like when you're in a high ticket, the conversation is so different. The people who come in here, like when you pay attention. Does that mean people are not gonna show up and quit even if they didn't give it any tries? Yes, it still happens. However, the thing that I love about about it is the people who are, you're ushering them into a completely new paradigm. You've opened up a door of opportunity, and it's their choice to rise. And
Yeah,
then
exactly.
the beautiful thing is when they rise and they do create financial freedom for themselves, they've done that because they've also opened the door for other people, and so on and so forth. It spreads like mycelium. I actually think that's the most beautiful thing in the world, and it couldn't be any more ethical, really, because nobody on the flippin' planet has made as much impact as a lot of network marketers. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree. And I see it as, you've seen the movie Pay It Forward?
No.
It's a movie, I think it was from the beginning of 2000, about this little boy that if you do something good for someone, that person you did something good for needs to do something good for someone else. It's called paying it forward.
Oh,
And that is truly what this model is. You do it the
yeah.
right way with a lot of integrity like we do. That's what it is, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's like really 99.999% of people don't leave this earth having set people financially free. You know, maybe as a coach you help people make a lot of money. However, you bring that same coach into this type of model, and they do that
Yeah.
because they did that for that one person, that person does that for another, and like the mycelium effect, the network marketing model, enrolling people to enroll people to enroll people to enroll people in
Mhm.
the vision just literally duplicates your impact.
It does.
That's literally all it is. And to think this word self-made, I'm like, you know, like even the people who sure are not in a
Yeah.
network marketing model, they're not self-made. They have a house cleaner, they have assistants, they have managers, they have these things. And so there's just so much pride in people like,
And they've paid a lot of people to make them.
exactly. And I
Yeah,
just
they've
feel like,
invested a lot in a lot of people.
yeah, and like that term self-made, I just feel like completely disregards the fact that like what is the actual point to do
Hmm.
it together, you know? So I think it's just the most beautiful thing in the world. And
It really
this
is.
business really has taught me, you know, what we speak about integrity. It's like, you know, have I made mistakes and the kind of people I've brought in? Absolutely. However, you know, I didn't come in here
Yeah.
calling myself a leader, knowing anything about sales. Oh my God, there's the thumb coming up. It's gonna do the finger. But yeah, I didn't come in here with those skill sets. So like a lot of people will run up into, oh, I brought this person in and they played the victim role, and then they'll
Hmm.
internalize it and feel bad about it. What I'm so in love about this journey of, which you witnessed already in me in
Hmm.
the time we've been together, is man, when things get brought up, it just solidifies so much more about my next deeper lessons in shadow work, in my self-esteem, in
Yeah.
my self-love, in like really understanding who the fuck I am, remembering who
Hmm.
the fuck I am, and claiming that and owning that. And I think that that's actually the thing that people are afraid of to step into a model like this, is they're
Oh,
like,
for sure.
you know, they're like,
Sure. People are
well,
afraid to meet their edges
yeah,
because as soon as there's resistance, people have a tendency to take it as a sign that it's not there, it's not for them. But
yeah,
it's actually a sign to look within and to really observe what's coming up from this, and where's the lesson and where's the growth and what am I going to do different, and still with the intention of being of service and being, doing good in the world. That's all that matters,
yeah.
and sharing the love. Yeah.
Mm.
And then you keep climbing and climbing and climbing.
Yeah, because why not you? You know,
Up
you
you.
can literally still do the things that you love to do and not drown if you're willing to understand that you're not
Yeah.
meant to do it alone, and that you're actually open to receiving support from people, that you're actually open to doing things a new way, that you're actually open to a new paradigm and understanding and questioning how you've been told to build, and watch this freaking empire build her masterclass. It's gonna blow you away. Oh,
Oh, yes.
thank you so much, Katia.
Thank
Is
you
there
so very
anything else you'd like to share with our beautiful audience as we wrap up?
well. If not now, when? Right? If not now, when are you going to do it? That's a question I ask myself every day.
Love it. Yeah, because there's always going to be another program you go on to launch. You're always going to have another move you're going to do, or another break. Well, hopefully not another breakup, but like life is going to keep lifing, is all I'm trying to say. And what if this was the way that you could stop trying to swim upstream in your life, in your finances, in your time, in the way that you're managing your energy, and you could just take a pivot and realize, oh my God, I'm flowing downstream, and all you got to do is like use your paddles to steer
To guide yourself.
so
That's
often.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. What if this was the vehicle?
That's
What if this was your
what we're talking about.
Ah, so good. Thank you so much. This was a really juicy conversation. I'm super excited for those who are watching the masterclass from this. Again, if you're listening to this on the replay, there'll be a link in the show notes. And if for some reason it's 2032 and the link doesn't work anymore, just reach out to whoever's page you're watching this on, and
Exactly.
they will make sure to send you the most updated masterclass of what's here. Thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and we'll see you on the inside. Okay, I trust that this message landed for you, Empress, Queen, Goddess, Witch, at the right time, in the right place, and in the right way. Again, make sure you leave a review, 5 stars, if it feels resonant for you. And I'm really looking forward to hearing from you what resonated with you in this episode over on Instagram at The Rich Witch Prophet. You can check out the free masterclass, Liquid Legacy, to learn how women all around the globe are getting paid to be in their unique, authentic magnetism in collaboration with water witches around the world. I'll see you soon.